Okay, here we have an example again of a product. We're going to take the algebraic term to be the u and the rest to be dv, yes. So find the du by taking the derivative of the x squared. Don't forget the dx. Integrate e to the minus 3x. You end up with the e comes back over minus 3. Plug it into the formula and you get copy, copy, copy. This is u times v minus the integral of v, just copy it, du is 2x dx. Now notice I can factor out the minus and make that a plus and factor out 2 over 3. The first term, just copy, copy, copy. And then minus a negative 2/3 integral. Notice that this integral is pretty close to what we did up here, except for this. What are we going to do with this guy? We got to do parts again. And you'll notice that if you have a sine or a cosine or an exponential times an algebraic term, the power on the highest power of x is how many times you have to do parts. So here we set this equal to u, so du is dx, e to the power is our dv. Integrate again the same way you did up here, and now plug it all in. This stuff gets copied. The 2/3 is multiplying everything that comes after, so you need a bracket. So you copy the u times v minus the integral of v, which has a negative, which makes this a plus, pulling out the 3 in the denominator, and v du is dx. Now this, finally, I can do that. We did it here, we did it here. This will be the last time that we have to do that particular integral. So you copy the first stuff, lots of copying. Don't forget that the 2/3 is going to distribute through everything. So we have 2/3 times this 3 on the bottom. I've got negative 2 over 9 with an x e to the minus 3x on the top. And then we have the 2/3 times the plus 1/3, which is going to give me plus 2/9. Integrate e to the minus 3x, we get the same thing we got here and here, e to the minus 3x over another minus 3. So you're going to copy this, you're going to copy that, and then this is going to be negative 2 over 27 e to the power. Now what I want to do is get a common denominator and factor that denominator out. And every single term has an e to the power. So this gets multiplied, oh, by the way, I pulled out a minus too. This gets multiplied by 9 over 9, so we get 9x squared. I got a 3 here, so that makes that 6x. And this guy is just a minus 2. Oh, pulled out the minus, plus 2. So when you're checking your answer, you're going to take the derivative of this form instead of doing a product rule and another derivative. You can just do one product rule. And on the next page, I'm going to show you a quicker, easier way to do this, but I do want to warn you, it only works if you have an algebraic term, and you need to learn to do it this way with the multiple parts, because it's important that you learn to do parts multiple times for other things, but the tabular method is pretty cool. So here we're going to work the same problem using what's called the tabular method. I've got two columns. I'm going to put u in a column and dv in a column. U is the x squared, dv is the e to the minus 3x dx. I'm going to label all of my columns with the alternating signs, and I'm going to just take derivatives of u until I get to 0. That's the thing. When you're picking your u, you're picking the thing that gets more simple when you take its derivative. So the first integral of this is over 3. Integrate again. I get another negative 3 in the denominator, which makes it positive 9. Then I get another negative 3, so I have a minus 27. Now I'm going to multiply diagonally down. This would be u times v. Then I do it again. Then I do it again. And now I'm just going to write down my answer. Positive x squared times e to the minus 3x over minus 3 minus 2x times e to the minus 3x over 9 plus 2 times e to the minus 3x over minus 27. And you see I got the same answer. I just did it much more quickly and succinctly. And again, I can factor out a minus e to the minus 3x and the common denominator 27 and write it as a single product. But the tabular method's pretty cool. Remember, you have to have an algebraic term times some other transcendental function. So on this page, we took this integral. I used 4x cubed as my u. Cosine of 2x dx was my dv. I'm going to take my u with a plus sign and take derivatives of this until I get to 0, alternating the signs. It's important that you remember this because remember it was minus the integral of v du, so you have alternating signs. The dv, I'm going to integrate that, integrate that, integrate that. Somebody lost a C. And then you're going to multiply from the u diagonally down. This is u times v. And then it's minus the integral of v du, and you do parts again. You'll have to do parts 3 times if you did this. And you do this times this, this times this. You string them all together, simplify. So 2 goes into 4 and leaves me with a 2. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 8 goes into 24 3 times. 16 and 24, I got 8 into both of those, and I get this. And there is your completed answer. Instead of doing parts 3 times, I used the tabular method and went pretty much straight to the answer. Pretty cool stuff. All right, this one is awesome. Notice that we have 2 transcendental functions. Neither one of these will go away or get simpler as I take derivatives. So I'm just going to choose my u and choose everything else as dv. Take the derivative of the cosine, I get minus sign. Don't forget that we have to chain rule the derivative of the 3x. So it's minus 3, sorry about that, minus 3 sine. Integrate, don't forget to dx. Integrate e to the 2x, I get e to the 2x over 2. So plug that in. I'm going to get u times v, which will be e to the 2x times cosine of 3x all over 2, minus the integral of v du. So minus a negative is plus 3 over 2, e to the 2x sine 3x. Now, this integral has to be done. I can't do it. It's 2 transcendental functions. So I have to do parts again. So I pick my u to be the sine, and the dv is the e to the power and the dx, everything that's left in the problem. Take the derivative of u. Don't forget to chain rule the 3. So I get 3 cosine of 3x dx. Integrate the dv. I get another e to the 2x over 2, just like I did right here. This gets copied, and then the 3 halves multiplies the uv minus the integral of v du that comes next. So copy this, plus 3/2 bracket okay, obviously I didn't do a bracket. So 3/2 times u times v, so I end up with two 2's in the bottom, minus the integral, and it's minus 3/2 times that. The 3/2 gets distributed. That's this right here, minus the integral of 3 over 2 e to the 2x cosine of 3x. Now, so this part right here is minus 9 over 4, but look at this integral. This integral is the integral that we started with. All right, it's the same, that's what we're looking for. Notice that I have negative 9/4 of it on this side of the equal sign. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at this as an equation and solve the equation for the thing that I was looking for in the first place. So I've got the same thing on both sides of the equal sign with different coefficients. This is minus 9/4. If I add 9/4 of this integral to both sides of the equation, I can combine like terms on the left. So this is why we call it a wraparound, because you're going to end up, because cosine or sine is it keeps flip-flopping back and forth when you take derivatives of it, but the signs change, the SIG ends change. So that means that I'm going to end up with the same thing on the right that I had on the left. So I can group these things together. I've got 1, which is 4/4, plus 9/4, 13/4 of the integral that I was looking for equals this stuff right here that I already got. So I copy this stuff. By the way, that's 3 over 4. And now the integral I was looking for had a coefficient of 1. So I'm just going to multiply both sides by 4 over 13. And that's going to leave me with just that original integral. Isn't this cool? Repeated parts with two functions that don't go away when you take their derivatives or you integrate them, and you can end up wrapping around. The reason it works is because of the coefficients and because of the signs, the SIGN signs. Now I can distribute a 4 through here. I can factor out the cosine, the e to the 2x, keep the 13 on the outside, but 4 is going to cancel this 2 and leave me with 2 cosine of 3x. Cancel this 4 and leave me with 3 sine of 3x. Pretty cool stuff. It doesn't happen often, but when it does happen, it's just stinking cool. Okay, this integral has been a thorn in my side for forever and always, amen. But the way to do it is you take off a secant squared, because a secant squared x dx is the perfect derivative of the tangent. So this is going to be my dv, because I know what it is the derivative of. Okay, anything left in the problem was my u. I can integrate secant squared to get tangent, take the derivative of the secant, and I'm going to get secant tangent. Don't forget the dx. Plug everything in, and I'm going to get u times v minus the integral of v times du. Notice that I have one secant and I'll have two tangents, so it's tangent squared dx. Now, what am I going to do with this thing? Secant isn't the derivative of the tangent. If I pull off a secant tangent, I'm left with a tangent. That doesn't work. So I'm going to use a Pythagorean identity and change tangent squared to be secant squared minus 1. And then I can distribute that secant through here and see what I've got. So secant tangent, just copy, minus the integral of secant cubed minus the integral of secant. And we can split those integrals up. Notice that I have secant cubed on the left and I have secant cubed on the right with a negative. Splitting those integrals up so we can see what we have. I'm going to do the wraparound thing by adding this to both sides of the equal sign. This is going to give me this plus this is going to give me 2 integrals of the secant cubed on the left. We were looking for 1, so we're going to have to multiply both sides of the equal sign by 1/2. Copy the original, this first part that we already found, and then integrate this part, and the integral of secant is the ln of secant plus tangent. Notice that I'm putting absolute values. If we were to evaluate this at limits, we'd have to make sure that it was positive in here, because you can't take the ln of 0 or a negative. So now I'm dividing both sides by 2, 1/2 secant tangent plus the ln of secant plus tangent. Coolest thing you ever did see, right? There's more cool stuff coming in this chapter, just wait. Plus C.